Hello everyone, this is Stephanie with Photography World, and today I am going to show you how to use our magazine template. Okay, so when you get your product, you will have a layered Photoshop file to work with. It looks like this when you get it. I put a black background on the bottom just so that you could see what's going on, but it's not really doing anything. You're going to put your picture over top of that. So when you get your product, open both the template and the photo you want to add to it. So have them both open in Photoshop. Come over to the template and click on this layer that says blank layer. Select that, then come over to your image, right click on your image, say duplicate layer, and then from this drop down for document, select magazine cover template, click OK. And then when you come back to the magazine cover, it'll be right here above the blank layer. And then you can just drag and move this wherever you'd like. I'm going to come up here and click the move tool if you don't already have that selected so that you can move your image. And then if you hold down Control, Space Bar, and the left mouse button, all three at the same time, and you move your mouse from either left or right, it'll zoom in and out for you real quick. And so I'm going to zoom out so I can see my whole image in here. And I am going to make it bigger so that her head kind of peeks out over top of the text up here. And then click the check mark to apply it. Now to mask out the text that's over top of her head, we're going to come over here to Properties and click Select Subject. If you don't have properties visible over here, you can come up to Window, go down to Properties and check that. And then Select Subject is at the very bottom. You might have to use this scroll bar to get down to it. Okay, so once your subject is selected, I'm going to come up here and click the Marquee Tool. It's the second tool on your bar. And then up here there's a button that says Select and Mask. We'll click that. And then I'm going to use that trick again to zoom in. Control, Space Bar, and the left mouse button all at the same time. Drag to the right to zoom in. Whoa, too much. Okay, so now we'll get the Refine Edge brush tool. It's the second tool. And then you'll want to make it, kind of small. You're just going around the hair or any other fuzzy parts that you have that didn't mask well. So you don't want it too big, and too small is not your friend either. Okay, so we're just going to go around the hair. I didn't really like how it went over here, so I'm going to undo that, and I'm going to make it just a little smaller. And I'm going to go over just the edge of her hair. I don't need every little flyaway to be in the shot, just the top of her head. Okay, so that looks good enough to me. Let's see how I did on this. Oh yeah, that's good. It doesn't matter really down here because we just want this part that's right on top of the words. So I don't know why. I guess just habit, I did the rest. Okay, so we're going to output to selection, click OK. And then come up here to the folder that says Child Title. Click on that and then hold down the Alt key on your keyboard and click on the mask icon down here. And that will add the mask to just the letters. Now, if you'll notice on mine, there's a little bit of fringing. There's sort of a green halo around the hair. So what I like to do when I see that happen is, well, I'm going to undo until I get back to my selection. So I'm going to hit Control Z and then come up here to Select, go to Modify, Contract, and I'll bring it in maybe 2 pixels. Click OK, and then do the same thing to make the mask. So Alt, and then click on the mask. And so it's just as it was, it's just a little bit thinner. And this little tiny bit that's sticking up is actually still bothering me. So I'm going to just grab a brush, set it to white, and I'm just going to go right over top of those little bits that I don't want. And now that I'm zoomed in, I see parts that should be here that aren't. So I'm going to switch to black and paint back some of these holes in her hair. Okay, that looks good. Oh, see, there's a little bit in her bow. When you do that, select subject and the auto mask feature in Photoshop. It doesn't always do a great job. So sometimes you gotta fix it. Anyway, that looks pretty good. So I'm gonna just hold down Control space bar and then right click instead of left click to zoom. And if you select fit on screen, it'll zoom out for you. Okay, so now that you have your subject where you want, I'm actually gonna brighten her face real quick. So if you come down here, you can select levels. Oop, and I'm gonna drag it down over top of my image of my daughter. I'm gonna hold down Alt and click this arrow between the two layers. You could have also right clicked and then select create clipping mask and it'll do the same thing. Okay, so now I'm just gonna lighten her face a bit. I'm gonna go to the mask and hit Control I to invert, grab a brush, B for brush. I'm gonna use my bracket keys to make it as big as her face. I'm gonna right click and then bring the hardness all the way down. Okay, so now I'm just gonna make her face a little bit brighter. See? All right, so now that that's done, she's where she needs to be and the child heading is masked out. The only thing left to do really is to change the color and content of the text on the screen. So I've tried to make this as user-friendly as I can. For most of the text box, if you see this T next to the layer with the text, you can just double click on the T and you can type in new text or come up here to change the color of the text. So for example, here where it says 101, if you come up to the folder that says 101 fun photo ideas to try, you can hit that arrow to expand it. And then you can just double click on the fun photos to try and you can type anything you'd like 101, how about fun crafts to do this summer? Or if you're more creative than I, something funny about your child. Also from there, you can come up here to change the color. Now, if you want to change the color to something that doesn't have a T next to it like this, for example, the 101, you can click on the layer with 101, and then come down to your solid color adjustment layer. Go ahead and click OK. We're going to right click on that and select create clipping mask. And then whatever color is in this will apply to that 101. So we can double click on that thumbnail, the black thumbnail, and then pick any color at all that you'd like. How about red? You can also resize any of these. So if you click on 101, come up to your move tool, you'll see these little boxes on the corners and you can just grab any box to make it bigger or smaller. Click the check mark to apply. Now, when you are moving these things around, for example, this cuddle bunny bit here, if on your photo you decided you wanted it over here to the left, here, and we'll move the how to the right, you'll notice, oh, that arrow didn't move with it. We'll make that over there too. All right, so you'll notice that everything is aligned to the right side of the screen on that text box. So to change that to the left side, we'll come up here, double click on the text, and then up here right next to the color where you change the color, you'll see left align, middle, and right. So just select left align, click OK, and then also you can do the same with the heading. Click OK. Looks like we're gonna have to move the heading over. There you go. And so then you'd want to do the same thing for how to. Just double click on that and right align it. Click OK. How to get your kids to eat their vegetables. There you go. So that's really all there is to it. You can move these things around, type whatever you want into those boxes, change the colors so that it suits you and your image and your child. But yeah, that's it. I hope you love this. If you have any questions, please, send me a message or get in touch. I would love to hear any feedback that you have. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Have fun.